Out one more name in the Gloucester list. Prop Andy Deacon, who in August will enter his 15th season with Gloucester. His summer will go a lot better with a win here. The supporters of Bristol and Gloucester back at Twickenham then. And that's something for all the traditionalists to enjoy, and certainly something for those long-suffering fans from a stronghold of the game in the west of this country to rejoice in today, at last returning to HQ with a big trophy, the prize. And the team's about to walk out. Jason Little, the captain of Bristol, Phil Vickery on the far side in charge of Gloucester. And Nigel Melville, the man in charge of Gloucester, off the field. And what a difference he's made. Added that extra ingredient. Some have tasted the Twickenham experience before, wearing different colours, be they of their national side or indeed the colours of other clubs. But never before, on a big occasion, have these players stepped out onto this famous turf in the jerseys belonging to Bristol and Gloucester.
It's not a packed Twickenham, but it's a very good atmosphere here. And I can tell you, both teams were delighted that it was the other one that made it to the final. Rivalry, but respect as well. I think we have all the ingredients for a high-scoring, very exciting, a very physical final. What a big day for Contepomi and Pichot. They'll be disappointed after their football compatriots let them down yesterday. But those two men at 9 and 10 will be the men to steer Bristol. If Julian White and perhaps Alex Brown could just take the sting out of this Gloucester Type 5.
The Bristol players seem to draw on the experience of winning at Leicester in the quarter-final, when in the last minutes of the semi-final they held their nerves so well to secure this final and European qualification, remember, when they won last week. Gloucester away from the security of the Shed. But that didn't bother them at Hayward Road, Sale last weekend. A fine away win in the semi-final, and Phil Vickery about to lead his country to Argentina. But first things first will be Vickery's motto today. Gloucester with thumping wins at the end of the league season and in this championship as well. Remember, 60 points they put on Newcastle. 3 more tries versus Sale last weekend. They're playing some terrific rugby, aren't they, Stuart?
Very abrupt, very direct, and they're full of confidence. Like Bristol, as you said, Miles, Bristol's win at Leicester, I think, was a turning point for them. But Gloucester now are going on the road and saying, we will win because we're playing so well. And I think Nigel Melville has said, hey, guys, don't be worried about travelling away from Fortress Kingsholm. You're good enough to win. And Phil Vickery seems to have the belief and is transfused into this squad.
Party being led by the president of the RFU, Roy Maynock. And these the Gloucester players who have given so much this season to the Premiership, finishing 3rd. And how they'd love to finish with a trophy. And there's no doubt that the Gloucester supporters outnumbering the Bristol supporters today.
Two interesting men now coming up. Jamie Forrester being introduced. We all know about him, but the man next to him, Junior Paramore, Jake Ball, that's a great back row. And the Bristol back row of Short, Lippman and Sternan are going to have the collective game of their career. There's Gomersall, another man on the very top of his form. These Gloucester players playing so well. I can't think at the moment that there's a better club player at number 8 in the country than Junior Paramore.
A man who likes to bruise. And James Forrester, what an excellent start in an England shirt. 65 metres score. He was overshadowed, I suppose, by that score from his colleague at club and now international level, James Simpson-Daniel, but he's not here today. But their performance is noted, not only by Phil Vickery, the England captain that day, but also the England management. They are promising players. The officials just meeting the presentation party, and there's Henry Paul, of course, now finding his position. Bit of a breakthrough going to full back for Paul.
Yeah, he hasn't looked comfortable in in the midfield, or certainly not at fly half. I just feel that maybe he doesn't quite have the speed to make it the highest level like Jason Robinson at 15. But I think today, with the big space of Twickenham and his vision, he could be a very dangerous counter-attacking man. And Bristol will target him possibly as a weakness, but he could turn out into a real strength for Gloucester.
And they're no stranger to Twickenham, of course. Henry Paul played here with Wigan. Now Bristol, David Rees shaking hands there, just gone through the picture. He'll be getting on the plane to Argentina as the replacement for James Simpson-Daniel. But again, unfinished business before he goes. And Phil Christophers.
Lee Best there, another guy on fine form. I think symptomatic of Bristol's end-of-season rush that two backs in the shape of David Rees and Phil Christophers are in the England setup, because Bristol's back play last season was terrible. Jason Little has slowly got them pulling round, coming round, and they're very sharp behind. And of course, there's the man Contaponi. He has been blessed with a brilliant couple of games so far, and can't underestimate how important those two men will be today for Bristol.
A note there from Malcolm Pearce for Felipe Contaponi, and also Augustin Pichot, the Bristol owner. Saw him after the match in Bristol last weekend, and he couldn't quite believe that the dream had come true. He's through to Europe next season with his club. He's into a Twickenham final. But now they're here, they will want to win it. And Lee Best, end of season form again, has been catching the eye, as Stuart was saying. There's Phil Christophers, 2 tries here for England a fortnight ago. And on that plane to Argentina. Says his favourite rugby player of all time, David Duckham. He's got a bit of a Duckham hairstyle.
Got a bit of a Duckham step as well. I'm a big fan of Christophers. He's not just quick on his feet, he's very combative. In that try he scored, the first one against the Barbarians, was about strength as much as pace. He's a good player, man, that Gloucester must mark.
Time for the national anthem, not the West Country anthem, the national anthem. We've been talking about the attacking play of these sides at the end of the season. You just hope that there won't be any tightness, any tension out there today, returning with a trophy at stake. It can always happen in a final, but they do seem set in their ways, in their playing style. And I would be very surprised if we don't get an attractive final to finish the season. The man in charge of it is Roy Maybank. His first major Twickenham final, the Zurich Championship final, the end of the national season, which this year boils down to a local spat. 2 old giants of the English game. Gloucester without a trophy for 20 years. Bristol only a year better off. It's 19 then since they won a piece of silver. You can see why this means so much.
There has been a buzz in the city of Bristol this week, and certainly, well, ever since Gloucester realised that their team were finishing this season at a rattle, their fans have had eyes for Twickenham only.
Contaponi has checked the conditions. They're pretty well perfect. Overcast, no baking sun. Not too much wind. Firm underfoot. The players could not ask for any more. Here we go. But the Bristol players could ask Contaponi for more than that.
Now you build him up, and he lets you down. A terrible kick from Contepomi, and you just feel there the adrenaline got to him. He didn't control that kick. You can see Bristol a slightly heavier pack, but the technical excellence of Gloucester in the scrum dismantled Sale last week, and Bristol, they really struggled against Northampton. Julian White against Colazzo is going to be an immense battle today. Not often you talk about games running the front row. This one could be.
And it's first blood, possibly literally, to Gloucester. Given against the Bristol front row for dropping the scrum. And immediately, Mercier, Ludovic Mercier, of Gloucester and France, is called upon to go for goal from halfway.
Nothing friendly about the start to this local derby. You can see White and Colazzo right in the middle of it. Crompton and Vickery, no quarters asked today.
So time for Mercier to immediately get the driver out of the bag.
With this guy, it can be the 3 iron from 52 metres.
No mulligan today. Well, how about that? He landed it right on the tee.
See the reaction there of Mercier. Punching his arm in the air. Gloucester are really up for this at the moment. And I'll tell you, that is just about a mishit. It sounds ludicrous, but it was. But it's dead straight, isn't it? Dead straight. Now Bristol must bounce back immediately.
Mercier. And when we say tee, we mean the next tee. My goodness, what a hit that was from Mercier. So controlled. And there's his take.
Wasn't a great kick there from Lee Best either. Bristol just looked a little bit nervous early on. Haven't quite controlled their emotions either. One bad kick-off from Contepomi. One bad scrum, 3-0 Gloucester. Boom.
He has a boot that can hurt. And Bristol know it, and they mustn't feed it. This is Best. And again, doesn't find his best. 5 tries for Lee Best in the last 3 months, but his kicking game has been good as well, but not so far in this match, putting Bristol under pressure, already trailing 3-0.
And Lee Best looking very nervous.
Thrown by Azam. Not risking anything there, he just wanted secure ball, inviting the forwards to do this, but Bristol standing firm. Gummersall will have to use it. There's Robert Todd. He looks hard, he is hard. And it's a Gloucester put it.
What Bristol must do early on and make their tackles. You saw there Robert Todd needed to go backwards. If Bristol tackle like they did against Northampton and let Fanaloa and Todd cross the gain line, then the Gloucester forwards will drive through the heart of Bristol. They must make first up tackles and they must be strong.
Gummersall putting in, could almost have been accused of feeding there. In fact, Bristol get the turnover anyway. But Gummersall, I swear, was putting that into the second row's feet.
Well, Bristol won't mind that though, because they'll feel that's a very useful turnover. Now, how solid will White be? He's been out with suspension, no injury, so he should be fit, he should be fresh. Point to prove against the England captain, Phil Vickery.
That is White working into Colazzo, and it's a free kick to Bristol this time, and Pichot looking around, and he's off. Through goes Contepomi, good burst from the fly half. Archer supported well too, the Bristol lock, but that's stolen by Gummersall. He was onside, the ball was out, and it's Gloucester's turn to turn over. as White came through offside on Fiddler. Referee seen it, advantage play, Azam. Gummersall to Mercier. Henry Paul with the gloves. And the referee's going back for the penalty. And in fact, it's a second offence, it's offside in midfield.
I'll play advantage for you.
Here's the Bristol break. That understanding between Pichot and Contepomi, but that's the only bright spot so far from Bristol. Giving too many penalties away, and Mercier's 53 metres away. But this is within his range, because I don't think he caught that first one right.
Didn't force it, did he? There's more to come. I think you're right, I think it was the 3-iron. Just a bit more this time, only a bit though. Yet it remains a long, long way. We put more into that, but sacrificed the direction in doing so. Stays at 3-0.
A shaky start from Bristol. There you go, he does put more into it. And the right shoulder fell away, and that's why you had the hook on the kick. Not bad, but not good enough.
Contepomi restarts. Claimed by Ed Pearce, married yesterday lunchtime. And he did not spend last night with the team. Mercier.
Well, these front five forwards are close though.
Good chase from Fanalua. Gloucester fans love that, they love him. But because the man was taken straight away, didn't have a chance to get the ball away, that's why Bristol will put in. But this is what Fanalua can do on Lee Best.
That'll make Lee Best feel a whole lot better as well though, because that was a pressure high ball and he did well, because Fanalua hits hard. Best a nervy start, kept his eye on the ball, and that was a fine take from the Bristol full-back.
He's got his British residency this season, but he was taken into the Gloucester family long before that. That was just mere administration as far as they were concerned. They'd already given him a passport.
There have been times in my experiences when you're in Gloucester, you're not certain if you are in England, a unique city. And the Gloucester Hordes are very noisy at the moment.
Collazo's okay. And so is Dean Ryan thus far. No need to panic just yet, but his side hasn't made a great start here.
I just think about Dean Ryan. His word in Bristol that his job was on the line, and then they finished the season so well, and this will have cemented his position. But Ryan is a winner. He will not settle for second best here.
There's also word that he was going to Gloucester to join Nigel Melville. That has been scotched. Free kick to Bristol.
That's a good subplot, isn't it, of course? Dean Ryan of Wasps, Nigel Melville of Wasps. Two very different style players. The Quicksilver Melville, and how should we put it? The not so Quicksilver Ryan.
I think Nigel Melville, when he went there, people thought, well, he needs a forwards coach. Immediately put 2 and 2 together, may have made 5. Ian Smith has come in, the former Gloucester player, to act as forwards coach. Seems to be working well. That was Craig Short coming through at the line out. Of course, Short, a Bristol boy. So an extra special feeling for him today, but not now, because Gloucester have a penalty.
You've got your legs in the way. Get out of the way. Prevent the man picking the ball up.
Short last off the floor, but he was not penalised.
A little bit unlucky. But Gloucester isolated him very well. It was a good line-out steal from Short. No doubt Nigel Melville will be the happier of the two coaches at the moment. Bristol just making it easy for Gloucester to play territory, aren't they, at the moment?
Gloucester won the first ever knockout cup final way back in 1972. This, of course, a new competition to end the season in its second year. Azam to Pearce, it's working well. Fiddler.
Bristol putting a bit of pressure on Azam at the moment, though.
Paramore. Gummersall waiting, but only after his forwards have made more inroads, and why not? They're inside the 22. Now the scrum half will play it. Oh, it's a good dart from Gummersall. Does that so well. Nearly got away. Bristol have to be aware of his threat on the fringe. Forrester with a drive, supported by Azam. Paramore again. Big on muscle, this move from Gloucester, and they've got another penalty.
Tom Byrne has gone very wide on the touchline on his own, but Gloucester going the percentage route at the moment. There's Gommersall, little dart, P-shot, snags him, but not before Gommersall gets behind Bristol. And that's been the story of the first 11 minutes. Gloucester making inroads. It should be 6-0.
Mercier with a 50-50 record so far. There's his half-back partner, Andy Gummersall, man of the match against Newcastle in the quarter-final, also against Sale in the semi-final, and for England against the Barbarians. So the fridge is full. They're just too easy for Mercier. Although, having said that, he missed the one in the Shield semi-final, didn't he? The one that really mattered, right at the end. But at the moment in this final, the signs are that it won't be that close. Gloucester in control, but a long, long way to go.
Yes, Gloucester need to put Mercier under pressure at the moment. Not doing that. Easy ball again for Paramore. And he just rides the first hit there of Alec Brown. And Gloucester just keeping this platform nice and solid for Gommersall.
Gommersall's pass. Mercier finds the middle again. Over 500 points this season. Colossal.
It's very uncomplicated at the moment, isn't it? Good solid ball retention, and Gommersall finding Mercier, and he's just taken it into the Bristol half. Bristol have not established any real territory in the first 13 minutes.
When he was top scorer in France last season, the side were relegated.
No, that was not over. Number one. Number one, come here.
Number one for Gloucester.
Okay, hang on, you're 15.
Collazo.
You're pulling a leg away in that maul. He's pulling a leg away. I don't want to see it. Tell him.
With his mates.
An English, French, Italian collaboration there. And now Bristol finally get a chance to play some rugby. You can see at the moment Gloucester have had the ball 3/4 of the game, and they've had the territory.
Neil McCarthy, the former Gloucester man, about to throw in. Also played with Bath. Been around the West Country then. Ben Sternham has too. Run that line out. P-shot. No way through for Lee Best. Heavy traffic there. Jason Little. Well, that's good work from Little. Made a target. Invited the forwards. P-shot again. It's all very bunched up, but Bristol have been finding a way through in these situations of late. They give away an accidental offside, but they get the penalty for a previous deliberate offside, and they will go for goal.
Roy Maybank playing good long advantages there. Better from Bristol. Reasonably slick with the ball in hand. Their problem has been they haven't just been able to get the ball in hand so far. Now Andy Gomez shouting the orders. He's been in outstanding form in the Zurich Championship, but so too Felipe Contepomi, man of the match in his quarter-final and semi-final. 8 out of 8 at the Memorial Stadium last week, and you get the feeling, Miles, he's going to need to be pretty hot on the percentages to win today.
Yes, all 32 points. Scored his tries as well. But nothing glamorous about that. It's just about the 3 points that Bristol so badly needed. So hardly inside the Gloucester half, but they have points on the board. And that will give them heart.
And that's important, because when one team has the upper hand, you've got to stay within range. Bristol will feel they'll have their periods of ascendancy, and at the moment it's been all Gloucester, but there's only 3 points in it. What a great restart there from Mercier.
It's Gareth Archer. It's loose and Lippmann goes back, but the referee says the ball's been knocked on. Michael Lippmann, the Australian, dual nationality, but says he'll play for Australia if given the chance. He also hasn't ruled out a period in Super 12, but for now he's very much part of the Bristol setup, and they're enjoying his presence. Took a while to break into the team, but now it's fully part of it.
It's good pace, Lippmann, but I think Pichot at the moment will be saying to his forwards, better protection. Twice Gloucester have nicked ball. We thought as much. Problems in that front row.
And warnings have already been issued.
Right. Every time you are driving, you are going forward on your own. Next time we have a penalty. You hold it straight for me, Phil. Okay, I'll look, but you hold it straight for me, okay?
Vickery pointing out that he feels that Bristol are wheeling it. And that's the reason why Gloucester aren't straight. Good hit. The Gloucester midfield in all its shining glory.
Ambitious from Bristol to go on the short side. Fanola and Todd combined. And David Rees will not have enjoyed that. It was a wraparound hit from the Gloucester centres.
Being hit by one of them must be bad enough, but both of them, the two centres, would have enjoyed making their mark there. 3 times they met this season, these two. Twice in the Premiership, once in the Cup. All have gone Gloucester's way, but the most recent meeting, 41-40.
That was some game, wasn't it? And also symptomatic of the fact that Bristol have been scoring points, but they do leak them, and Gloucester, they've got to fancy their chances from 30 metres against Bristol today. Solid scrum.
Well, Bristol certainly wheeled that perfectly legally to give them the put-in.
I'll tell you what, a man we haven't mentioned, Darren Crompton, had a good start against Phil Vickery. He's won a couple of free kicks, a couple of wheels. In fact, we expected Gloucester to dominate the scrum, and Bristol have been tidy in that area, more than tidy.
Stolen by Gummersall, but the referee says the ball wasn't out. Gummersall being his normal cheeky self. The referee had a good view of that, probably better than us. That's good work from Crompton at the scrum. I was reading a piece about Darren Crompton earlier in the week, and there's no doubt that he, from the quotes in that piece, thinks that his England squad days should not be over in terms of challenging at the highest level. And if that's the case, when you're taking on the current England captain, then this is the day to pull out a really big performance. David Rees, a player back towards his England best in his new centre role for Bristol. There's Jamie Williams. Pichot's long pass to Best. Gloucester looked very organised. Contepomi will try and break them down. Jamie Williams again. Alex Brown to David Rees. Always 2 or 3 men there to make the tackle.
Yeah, Rees is looking threatening, isn't he? Oh, that's high.
And Pichot didn't have the ball when he was tackled.
You seen something, have you? Okay, I'm coming over. Away. Away, please. I've got a flag over there, please. Away, please.
We're 200 metres away and we saw something.
Away.
Pichot quickly back on his feet, which is good to see. It's Contepomi who had the ball. And Pichot never had it.
Oh, that was not pretty from Colazzo there, because Pichot wasn't jinking, was he? He just went high and hit him.
High and early.
No,
Robin
Phil.
Woodliff, the touch judge on this near side.
Very late and very high. I'm not having it. Okay, it's as simple as that. Way you go.
I think he emphasised to Roy Maybank,
Hey, Phil.
the touch judge, that he thought it was a sin bin offence, and that's good refereeing. Took it on board, the referee. Took his time, and I think made the right decision.
Yeah, you can see Paramore threw himself at Contepomi, but there you can see Colazzo, he makes the contact with Pichot. That has to be a yellow card there, and perhaps a warning for Colazzo as well. Sometimes we get 1 yellow card and all sins are forgiven, and I think that's used by referees as a cop-out. Now Contepomi has got to make Colazzo pay immediately by levelling the score, and then they have 10 minutes with 1 man more.
Yes, this is the way it really hurts. To put points on the board. Now from Bristol, the steward says, pile on the agony while Gloucester are a man down.
Well, you know, after that first 15 minutes or so, Bristol have come back into this game, and it hasn't been pretty, but I've been very impressed with the dogged determination, the organisation of their forwards. And if you can compete with Gloucester in the tie, you have a real chance.
Pichot and Contepomi. They've had to change their flights back to Argentina. Of course, they're due to play in a test match next weekend. Their preparations for that match will be hurried, but their minds on this job.
Another man who's impressed me early on has been Gareth Archer, winning kickoffs, winning lineouts. Gave too many penalties away last week, but if he's focused on the game, he's an international player.
Fiddler. 5 losing semi-finals in the Gloucester shirt before this competition this year for Rob Fiddler. Gummersall. Mercier is Todd on the crash ball. Did well, got his way past Litton. Gummersall again. Oh, that's well judged. Clever play from the scrum half.
We saw him doing that at Sale in the semi-final last week. Couple of darts from the forwards and then just probing with the boot. Kicking well tactically off his left and right foot. And just putting Bristol back under pressure. Quite a battle at 9 today.
And it could well be a battle resumed in Buenos Aires in a fortnight's time. It's already happened recently. England versus the Barbarians. Dean Ryan.
He'll be hoping his line-out functions well. Of course, they've got Alex Brown, who is one of the best line-out forwards in the Premiership. And on this day, Neil McCarthy's a very, very accurate marksman. There's Brown.
McCarthy, one of the most accurate throwers in the Premiership. Right on cue, is Gloucester ball. What a good steal that is. Chance to attack now. Gummersall to Mercier. Todd. Jake Ball was waiting, and the ball comes flying out to Bristol. Opportunity wasted there.
Good work from the Gloucester line out here. And it's Forrester, isn't it? You see, he's a small forward in the sense he's got no great bulk, and they get him up early. They jacked him up and lost that ball, Bristol there, but then the knock-on.
Forrester has to go off here because the prop needed to come on. That's Woodman joined that scrum, but it's the number 8 for Bristol, Ben Sturnham, leading that charge away. Jason Little. It's good interchanging between Williams and Rees and Christophers, the wingers and centres moving around, keeping Gloucester thinking. Tom Bime. Henry Paul with the catch and go. And he gets a penalty for the pull. Paul was trying to release Bime. Now, of course, the Gloucester supporters want the sin bin to be used again. Let's take a closer look.
Oh, that's a cynical foul, and I think that's a yellow card. Watch this. It's Christophers on Tom Bime. That has to be 10 minutes in the bin.
Ashley Rowden is the latest touch judge to become involved. And it surely has to be a card for Christophers.
He was clear. You pulled him back before he got the ball. Cynical infringement. There you go.
No argument. I think above all other reasons, that's what the yellow card is there for.
And interestingly enough now, Mercier not going for 3 points. Gloucester are looking to drive home this potential advantage.
Both sides with a man in the bin.
Now Alex Brown, there you see it next to Codlin, the best line-out thief in the Premiership. But Azam, well, he's got it. There you go, on cue. Well done, our stats department.
Contepomi didn't get enough on it. Darren O'Leary can really push on with his pace. Very powerful runner, but not that time. Van Alleur was held.
No! Obstructed! Don't do it, or you're gone as well.
Obstruction, penalty, but no sin bin this time. The referee taking the temperature of the match, which is building all the time.
Well, there's Alex Brown doing ever so well. Gets the better of Rob Fiddler there. That's very good work from Bristol. I think perhaps that's been the most telling thing in Bristol's favour, that they've gone well in the set piece there. Gloucester seem to have more drive in power from the pack, but Bristol are nicking some ball and they're not letting them build their platform that we've seen so effective in the last few weeks.
Over the top of the Bristol second row that time. And it was Lippmann who retrieved. Contepomi trying to do what Gummersall did for Gloucester just moments ago, but Henry Paul will play it. And find a very good angle.
Not quite working for the Argentinian fly half at the moment. His kicks not quite finely tuned enough, and they're giving Paul space to counter, and this time to find a very good kick. And I don't think Bristol will want to bring Henry Paul into the game and get him too relaxed, because it is very dangerous.
Lippmann again at the tail. Then Archer carries the ball so well. Big strong man. Julian White using the boot to dig the ball out. Perfectly legal. Contepomi, crossfield. Difficult one for O'Leary. He lost the swirl of the ball and will be very grateful for the knock-on. Just starting to rain as well.
Great.
Just a light drizzle.
Very interesting. Look at the wide picture. There are two Bristol men there, deliberately gone wide. It's not a sliced kick. There you can see two men jumping against one. And unfortunately, the catchers don't get it right, but that was a planned move from Bristol there. 2 men out wide.
Right. Zam popped right out of that scrum.
Hold it square, gentlemen. Catch and hold, engage. Okay, let's go, come on.
It looked like one of those frogs you hit at the seaside. It's Mercier's kick. A good reply from Williams. Mercier getting tremendous length in return. Bit of tennis there from the baseline. Mercier the winner.
Well, if Bristol is shading it in the forward exchanges at the moment, I think in the tactical kick-in stakes, it's Gloucester with Paul and, of course, that man Mercier on top. Not pretty, but they're winning the ping-pong war.
Ed Pearce, I was saying earlier, married yesterday lunchtime, the day before a cup final at Twickenham, and it coincided with England versus Argentina in the Football World Cup.
You've got that big smirk. I don't want any of your postcard humour, Harrison. None of it.
I was contemplating going down the route of the ice pack, but resisted.
Well done. Good take from Brown again. Good solid line out. And a good secondary shove as well from Bristol.
Spending quite a bit of this match on the beach. The players will be heading off to take some well-earned rest. Well, some of them will be after this. Others have international commitments.
It's a Dean Ryan drive there from the Bristol pack.
And how different their off-season will be. Will they be winners or losers? Big spell this before half-time. 6 points all. Still waiting for our first try. Pichot might try and do something here. Short collects. Looking for someone to cut the angle. Julian White at standoff. Wasn't the best pass. It came off little. It's retrieved by O'Leary, and it's a kick and go. Baim is chasing. Lee Best with Baim first to make the tackle. And he got his men out. You just sense that this is a moment to grab for either side.
Yeah, that was a chance for Bristol. It was a good take from Paul, but they turned him over. And when you turn over someone on the opposition 22, you've got a chance. But that's not a good pass from White. Little under pressure, and then Gloucester able to turn defence into attack. Best does well, but Gloucester make 50 metres.
Meanwhile, Collazo is out of the sin bin. So Forrester is back on for Woodman. Bristol still without Christophers.
So can Gloucester strike now? Oh, it's another great steal by Alex Brown.
Extendable Alex Brown. He would help with the decorating, wouldn't he? Long kick from Mercier. Great effort.
Great effort or wasted ball. He scores a lot of points, but sometimes you just think he doesn't look outside him. He's got such a metronomic boot, he trusts himself. And the Gloucester crowd love him for it. Oh, the Bristol crowd don't. That's the chant there, boring, boring Gloucester.
I think it's one of those where, had it gone over, would have said, come away with 3 points. But of course it didn't. And it looks worse because of that. There's Pichot trying to keep the ball in. Mercier goes very high with that one. Lee Best bounces off his shoulder. Falls for Fiddler. And the first knock on from Best.
Well, if the drop kick was a dubious decision, the high ball was excellent and it was really well executed. Best put under great pressure. And Gloucester got a good scrummage position. 35 metres out, right in the middle of the park. Paul on the right side.
There's Henry Paul then. Good tackle from Contepomi. Saw him tackle Nick Beale last Saturday. And dumped the Northampton fullback on his backside. Another good hit from Contepomi.
And once again, you just see the negative side of Henry Paul. He tries to go on the outside, but when he's hit hard, his retention is not always good. That was lost ball, and Gloucester are lucky to get away with it.
It hasn't been the free-flowing, fast game that we were all hoping for, but it's close and it's tense, and it's anybody's. And it's Azan. Gummersall, Fiddler, good work to Forrester. Now here's a chance, just wouldn't fall for Fanaloa, but Gummersall keeps the move going for Gloucester. Swivels out of the two challenges there, Andy Gummersall. Forrester again, Bime. Good step from Bime. Well inside that Bristol 22 he goes. Gummersall again to Mercier. Bristol try and stand firm. Half-time just around the corner. Henry Paul, well taken by Collazo. Inside is Jake Ball, must score, and does. For the Gloucester fans, it's well worth the wait.
Made the extra man towel. Christophers is back on now. But Jake Bohr, outstanding all season, has scored. Fiddler really with a lovely piece of play earlier made this possible. And there's Collazo with a fine inside ball. Bristol are stretched. Good passing as well here. Paul with the cutout ball. Collazo, lovely little left-handed popper. Jake Bohr so strong through the tackle of Littman. But beforehand, there was a lovely little basketball touch from Rob Fiddler that kept the move going when it might have died. And in the end, Jake Bohr makes Bristol pay.
Yes, there were two occasions, weren't there? Fiddler with those lovely hands, and then Gummersall got the move going again. And that is why Bohr was able to go over. And the man who was the captain and had to cope with the disappointment of seeing that go to Phil Vickery, a popular scorer with the Gloucester supporters. Mercier trying to add the conversion, which he does with aplomb. Well, I reckon it's the most overworked phrase in sports broadcasting, but it is so true. Just before half-time, great time to get points on the board and create a lead here of 7 is significant in a final.
Yeah, because it means Bristol can't just chip away with a couple of penalties. They need a try or 3 penalties. Collazo showing that he perhaps could have been in the Italian football team with a beautiful long ball, but no one up front. And Lee Best, now I'm getting carried away there. He couldn't be in the Italian team, even though they lost to Croatia. The Maldini of the rugby world. Except, of course, he's French. My mind was dwelling on that Italian defeat this morning.
I was wondering how to break it to you. Here go Gloucester again with Azam. Gummersall. Bohr, the try scorer. Unusually for him, losing the ball in contact. And there's Lee Best working his way back to the safety of the pack. Contepomi. for to counter. Bit of confusion there in the Bristol ranks. They weren't quite sure. Gareth Archer finding himself in the way. And then the slice from Lee Best. Now can Gloucester add another score before half-time?
That's interesting. Henry Paul being fed some pretty easy kicks and is looking very relaxed. A solid, composed performance. Whereas in contrast, Lee Best is all a little bit hurried and ragged. And you know, that ball needed to go out somewhere the other side of the halfway line. Now, Gloucester do have a chance to make the lead significant.
Forrester knocking on, got his fingertips to it, but couldn't get it back on the Gloucester side. Referee deems that sufficient advantage for Bristol.
That was a heck of a kick from Lippmann, you know. You can see Bristol have done a great job on the Leicester line-out. Superb work, but it's that extra running power of Gloucester the difference at the moment. Bristol to get back in this game. Alex Brown and co have got to maintain their aerial dominance.
Well, that was strange from Azam, loose at this stage of the half, to throw over the top into no man's land. And now it's Bristol with Contepomi out to Jason Little and then Rees behind Williams. Knock on.
Bristol back's not flowing at the moment. They look a little bit tight to me. A lot of nerves out there. There's Jamie Williams, of course, played his rugby most of his career across the road at Harlequins as a fullback.
Gummersall, Mercier, and that wasn't a time when Gloucester were about to run the ball out of their own 22. Exactly the right option from Mercier, and a superb execution.
Do have some reservations about his all-round play as a 10, but my, this man can kick a ball. 50 metres there. But again, he's well served by the pack and Gummersall. Now, Bristol really must be solid on this last line out. They don't want to give anything away going into half-time.
So they go to Alex Brown, but they do keep the ball away on the floor. Gummersall. Advantage being played, Forrester. Fiddler. Again, it's the big men, and they make the yards. Vickery, don't come much bigger than him. Gummersall, Fiddler was the decoy. Gummersall nearly going himself again. Oh, and here's a very useful penalty. Forrester's taken it quickly.
Don't worry. Quicker, please.
Referee calls them back.
And a little bit off the ball there.
Away, guys.
Jamie Forrester really trying to up the ante there. Goes for the try line, and Gareth Archer was going to stop him. He won't stop Mercier going for... Oh!
And he's stopped by the referee because the touch judge is inside the field of play. Robin Goodliff. That's Gareth Archer, who was spotted by the cameras, but also the officials.
You know exactly what you did there, okay? He's on the deck. You leave it alone, otherwise you are gone. You understand me?
Yeah.
Go.
There you can see Archer on top of Forrester there. Doesn't roll away. Bit of reaction there. Net result, though, is a pretty important one, because Gloucester can take a 10-point lead, and in a tense derby final like this, that's a pretty significant lead. It's going to make Bristol come out very hard. Second half is a good lead for Gloucester.
Well, there will be a lot of shocked faces around this ground if Mercier were to miss this. Here's the pressure of final. Taylor, though. But he makes it look simple, and he sends Gloucester down the tunnel, leading by 16 points to 6. So what a good finish to the half for the Cherry and Whites. That Jake Ball try, the difficult conversion from Mercier, and now the penalty, and that's daylight, Stuart.
Yeah, Bristol winning a few of the exchanges, doing well in the scrum and line-up, but Gloucester still seem to have that extra bit of driving power. Bristol are going to need something pretty quickly, some magic from the backs. Otherwise, you can see Gloucester just driving away with this one.
So half-time in the West Country final here at Twickenham. It's Bristol 6, Gloucester 16. And this the only try of the first half. Well worked one down this near side. Jake Boer taking the scoring pass, and he had the power to get over from there.
Lost one, but it's time now to sort of start chancing their arm, because and as I said, somebody needs to spark it. It needs to come from those two, Pichot and Contemporaneous.
I've got a theory about Pichot and Contemporaneous. Yesterday's football game, simple as that.
You think it's that? You think they're still depressed?
Still depressed.
It's a real shame that they're depressed going into
Enough
today's
of
game,
that,
but enough of that. Let's get back to the rugby. There we go. Party atmosphere, as we've been saying. They've been enjoying it all day. Nigel Melville, he'll be happy with the way things are going at the moment. His side lead the way by 16 points to 6. Let's get back to our commentary team. Stuart Barnes and a worn-out Miles Harrison.
Yes, I've done a few stranger things than that in my time. Anyway, it was a bit of fun. And let's hope that this second half is a good end of season half. Bristol will be looking for that first score. They need that first score. We're hearing from their changing room that they've made a change in the back row. Craig Short has gone off, and Ross Beattie will be coming on. There's Jason Little, who's been putting back his return to Australia to see his wife, who's expecting their firstborn. He's been putting it back week by week. This, though, is the end of the season, the full stop after this. Not for Pichot in international terms. He's about to go back to Argentina, where he will wear that shirt with pride, but he wears this one as well with pride, and you can see him there trying to lift Bristol for this second half. 10 points between the two teams. Such an important start to this period of play.
Good surging drive there, gives Contemporaneous a little bit more time, but he doesn't find touch, and still Gloucester dominate the kicking game.
Henry Paul. And still Gloucester put pressure on the man with ball in hand. Again, it's Contemporaneous.
I just wonder then, you know, Contemporaneous sliced that ball. He had Lee Best inside. Agree with the guys in the studio. Bristol have got to chance their arm a little bit. They play at their best when they play with width and pace, and they haven't really been able to do that in the first 40. They have to try and generate that pace.
Azam growing in stature at the club with every week. Pledged his loyalty to Gloucester, signed a new contract this year. A difficult season for him, what with all those allegations of racism. The club stood by him, and he appreciated that. Mercier couldn't break through. Story of the match so far, just the one try. Christophers. The referee had already seen some kind of offence. He's given a late tackle here. And of course, if he has, he will award the penalty where the ball landed. Yes, it's a penalty. And he's taken quickly by Pichot, who is fully aware. And he has got there to get Bristol back in this final. What were Gloucester doing? They were asleep. The penalty taken in line from where the ball landed. It went into touch. Gloucester were thinking, well, what were they thinking about? Pichot, smart.
Exactly what Bristol needed, certainly what the final needed. Pichot, he's quick-witted, but you have to say you were right, Miles, right on the money there. Gloucester was still in the changing room. I mean, he had a bit of work to do, but Gloucester handed that to the Argentinian scrum half. And it's a mood swing immediately.
And Contaponi with the conversion. We have a different final.
It's astonishing, really. The penalty was given. Roy Maybank went back. Look at this from the overhead angle. You can see two Gloucester men not making any effort. Pichot right by the right of the referee. And suddenly the penny drops. But Pichot's got a metre on them and he wriggles over. That was incredibly lax from Gloucester.
And the referee was shouting to the touch judge. The players all around the referee knew what was happening, or should have known what was happening. Hard to explain, but it's thrown this final wide open again. That's directly out from Contaponi.
He steps inside Henry Paul. Henry Paul goes too high there, you know. Jake Ball's making the tackle, but the fullback has got to hit him back. Well, is that straight? Gloucester will take it.
Didn't look it. That was knocked on by Mercier.
You're quite right, you know. The referee was quite clear. Gloucester knew a penalty had been given. I just don't know what they were thinking of. Look, he's put the hand up there and they're walking back. You turn your back at your peril. Phil Vickery was looking the wrong way as well, you know.
There were 10 Gloucester players there to 2 from Bristol.
But the Gloucester men were looking the wrong way.
Williams doing well, the former Harlequins man.
Now this is what Bristol must do, try and put the pace on the game.
And again Williams to Pichot, Christophers, Lee Best. Pichot comes this side, finds Williams again. Good tackle from Fanaloa.
Contaponi did well to ride that tackle, didn't he? Because Fanaloa thumped him.
It was man and ball. And there's Christophers coming off the floor again to have another bite. Contaponi, Williams in his way, couldn't get it away as quickly as he wanted. Tom Bime has gone back. That's good work from Bime. Well, that's excellent work from Bime, the man who missed just about a year with injury. Back in the side in April. I'm so relieved to be playing rugby again. And now given his chance with injury to James Simpson-Daniel.
Well, that was really good work. It wasn't a bad kick. Perhaps the net wasn't quite good enough on Bristol's defensive chase, but Bime used that explosive pace, gets away from the first man and finds a thunderous kick. This game did need that try, didn't it, Miles? It's lifted the ground.
It's given the Bristol supporters and their players reasons for hope here. There's Ross Beattie, another man who's virtually missed the whole of the season with injury. He'll come back right at the end. O'Leary's.
Yet another poor kick. And so is that.
Sloppy from both sides. Darren O'Leary, the biggest mistake.
Now here's the score again. Phil Vickery should have been turned the other way. You have to face the ball. Pichot's got too much pace for him. Little dart there, and Henry Paul, that is not the greatest effort at a tackle. He just tries to smash him back. Perhaps he should have gone in with more control and try and hold him up. Work to do, but Gloucester will be thinking, That is a gimme.
We didn't quite see it there, but Pichot and his control of the ball wasn't all there, you know, when he crossed the line. I think it was a try. Well, it's given now, it doesn't matter. Both sides have to believe it, but just a slight element of doubt.
Wait, please, we've done nothing yet. Okay, thank you.
Oh, that's good line-out ball, isn't it?
McCarthy to Pichot, and then Archer. He loves this role, going through the middle. Needs no second invitation. Just a tap forward. Gloucester pudding.
Good set piece from Bristol, though. Very good set piece, and Archer charging forward. Balance just swung Bristol's way, but really this is on a knife edge. You still feel Gloucester have the driving power game.
Hang on. No, stop.
Into close quarters we go.
Going straight down my shorts. You wouldn't like it. Wait. Engage.
Referee just adjusting the microphone.
Hang on, far side's gone.
He's a chirpy character,
Get
Roy
your head up,
Maybank.
please. He's telling me you're going. Hold. Engage.
Sounds like a London cabbie. Deflection, and then the bounce, an awkward one for Christophers. O'Leary and Fanaloa try and work something. Bynes there. In goes Forrester.
Good turnover.
Excellent turnover. Best up to his own 10-metre line. Pichot. Contepomi. Tackle was from Collazo. Pichot again. Archer in the centre, encouraged to move it by Rees, who finds Williams. Taking on O'Leary on the outside, and Jamie Will, oh, he's got a foot in touch. The flag is up. Referee's seen it now. Won't count.
That's blistering from Williams. Late for the semi-final, but he was making up for lost time there. Beats Darren O'Leary on the outside, and it's just a heel of one foot and a toe of the left, but that's close, and he'd done O'Leary. O'Leary didn't usher him into touch there. He was saved by the touch line. He's beaten him, and he just there, you can see it. One on each foot, and the touch judge in pole position.
You only have to clip the line, and that's all it was.
But again, the threat when Bristol can go wide.
Sheridan for Sternum, as you see. Andrew Sheridan, who flirted with the position of prop earlier in the season, replacing Sternum in the back row. They can move around at the line out. He will be a very useful man to lift Alex Brown, but it's Gloucester ball.
Bristol may have sacrificed some line-out coherence for a bit more grunt in the tight, but at the moment the grunt is all Gloucester-led.
In the shed, transported here to Twickenham today. In full voice there as they saw their beloved forwards move on inside Bristol territory. Williams stays calm. Had a spell at Bracknell for a few months, Jamie Williams. It seemed that his career was all but over. Harlequin said thank you, but with all your injury problems we're not going to re-engage. And now he's at Bristol playing some top rugby. Here's Henry Paul, unlucky with that bounce.
Ever so unlucky. David Rees secured it, and Contepomi, you can see though, look, Ludovic Mercier has dropped right into the shotgun, but that is a good kick, so he can't play the long ball game.
Well worked by Contepomi. 9 tries in the Premiership, the most for a half-back this season. And of course 32 points last week in the semi-final.
But see how Gloucester play it tactically. Mercier, one of the worst tackle and fly halves. He misses more tackles than any other 10. They slide him back into the shotgun and say, don't tackle, mate, kick. Clever play from Melville's men.
Azam to Forrester to Gummersall. Todd standing short.
And strong.
Mercier. Fine catch from Christophers over the shoulder. Best needs a good one. Sliced a couple in the first half. Well, he's got a good result, courtesy of Junior Paramore with the knock-on. And Lee Best will be very pleased about that. So will the rest of Bristol.
Lucky there, Lee Best. You feel he's got to trust himself. He's a good attacker, and Dean Ryan, he won't be happy with what he's seeing, except Junior Paramore gifted Bristol a gimme there. And it's unusual from Paramore. He's been magnificent in the last month.
Tee shot, Contepomi. What's happening here? It was meant for Christophers, but too high, and he's knocked on. Bill Christophers, the supporters player of the year at Bristol. Still studying at Loughborough University. It's in the middle of his finals. Allowed by Dean Ryan to continue with his studies. Gummersall. That's what he was doing so well in the first half, but he's not quite found the angle this time, although it could be very difficult here for Lee Best. No option. He's carried that over. That's a 5-metre scrum. I think Gummersall will be first to say he got lucky there with the snaky bounce, but no complaints from Gloucester, and what a big scrum this is.
Well, this can really clamp the Bristol Revival a score here. 5 metres out. Wants to go for it. They get the penalty.
Now 3 points or reset the scrum. Time for a mini conference. Vickery will make the call. His prop instincts will tell him get down again, let's go again, but his captaincy instincts say let's get more points on the board. We had a lead at half-time. We've thrown that lead away to just 3 points. Bristol having the majority of this second half possession. And that surely has to be the right decision.
I think that's mature captaincy there. I think Mercier helped him. He wanted it. But tight finals like this, these 3 points are not to be neglected. When they're on offer, you take them. You get the chance. You got a kicker of his quality. You have to go for 3.
Even from out wide, Mercier has a better chance than most.
Will he just start to feel the pressure as we saw in the Shield semi? That's going to be the key to this now.
He did feel the pressure. It's easy said from up here, but I think you were reading the signs in the facial expression. He was trying to calm himself down. He looked different, setting himself for that ball than he looked in the first half.
Well, there are some people who are magnificent kickers of a dead ball, and he's one of them, but it's very different when the emotional squeeze comes on. And we're going to find out a bit about Monsieur Mercier in the next 25 minutes, if it stays this tight. Because you can be certain he'll be thinking about drop goals.
And now with hindsight, Vickery will wish that he went for the scrum, but of course again that's easy said. It was the right decision.
Let's chuck hindsight out of the English dictionary, I say.
Well, certainly out of a Twickenham final, because players can't afford to let those negative moments live with them. There's a game to be won here, and a big game too. It's Williams' kick. Of course, he's played a lot of his rugby at full-back. He's popping up on the wing and in the centre today. He's so versatile. But that was a full-back's kick.
Excellent. The pressure came on Contepomi, so he just transferred it with a missed pass and said, OK, 3 of you chase me. I'm not kicking that well. Jamie Williams changed the point of it. He did it very well. Smart play.
And he's got a left boot, which, again, changes things in midfield. So useful for sides to have a kicker with right and a kicker with left. As England have Johnny Wilkinson, he can do both. Penalty to Gloucester for pulling down.
And no prizes for guessing that we are going to see the boot of Ludo Mercier. I don't think he'll be looking for goal from this distance, but he'll be looking for territory again. Is that the married man down? No postcard humour, Miles. None.
Can't quite tell who it is lying down. You're right, it is Pearce.
Now he's been a guy who's been so improved for Gloucester. The likes of Adam Eustace, out injured, Mark Cornwall. He was a real fringe character. You know, as Nigel Melville said on the Rugby Club, he's come all the way through from Gloucester fringe to making an England appearance against the Barbarians. A strong carrier, and he's been a real useful man in this Gloucester squad.
He was part of the double squad at Bath in '96, but never really got his chance in that Bath side. You can understand why, there were so many other talents around. Mercier taking Gloucester inside that Bristol 22. We're about to enter the final quarter of this match and of the domestic season.
Just starting to re-establish some territorial control, Gloucester, at the moment, but Brown is a nuisance there.
Bristol driving over the top there. McCarthy coming offside, but the referee letting it go. Vanaloa! And the step! Goes for a glorious individual try, but it's a penalty for holding on. Some of the Gloucester supporters think it's a score. It's not. And Bristol save themselves. They can get back to sitting down. They're ruffling the hair of Lippmann.
Is this the knife edge moment? A great break from Fanaloa. He thinks he's going for it. Lippmann, he gets himself in a great position. The referee can't give it because he cannot possibly see, but he does think he sees Gloucester holding on to the ball. That is a big moment, perhaps. Do you see Bristol's reaction as well? Clap in and punch in the air.
Well, Michael Lippmann made a try-saving tackle for Australia under-19s against New Zealand at Stadium Australia 3 years ago, and he described that up to this point as the best moment of his career. Well, that surely will rank alongside that tackle in Australian under-19 colours. What a tackle that was. Keeps Bristol very much in this final.
And he has played well, you know. There's Sheridan, couple of metres, keeps them on the front foot.
But this will be Gloucester ball. And then it might be Bristol ball, as they have a scrap on the floor, but it's still with Gloucester. And now it's Paramore. Always needs two. And Sheridan takes the ball out.
Oh, it's getting rough down there now. It is getting rough.
The referee wants a word.
Sorry, Cat. Come in. Two. Number 8.
You don't need to say calm down. Let it game go, Roy. Let it go. Nothing really happened there, you can see.
All right.
20 minutes to go. It's tense enough out there. You don't need these theatrical moments. Let it flow.
Gummison. Mercier. One or two holes in that defence starting to emerge again. Gummison will be the man to find them. Forrester caught by Sheridan. Probably hurt. Bristol get the benefit of the decision. And these are big decisions now from the referee. He's right there in the melting pot.
This is a real dogfight now, because Gloucester have come back at Bristol, but you can see the turnovers conceded really hurting them. They're desperate to come away from this period of pressure with some points. 16-13 still gives Bristol chances. But you just feel Gloucester trying so hard to squeeze it more now.
We should mention that extra time is available today, 10 minutes each way. That was Jake Ball who stole that, and now there is space for Fanaloa. Trying to dodge, trying to weave. He was well tracked by Jason Little. It's a good tackle that. It was 2-on-2. But it will be a Gloucester penalty. And as for that, in at the side.
Don't need it, please, Jason, yeah?
There's a messy scrum from Bristol there, and that's loose discipline from Bristol. I think it's Gareth Archer on the side there, just stepping over Junior Paramore, and it's Littman who comes from the side. He can't resist it. Oh, it's Archer, in fact.
Could be costly. As Paul Johnston comes on for Darren Crompton in the Bristol front row. Could be so costly, that. Mercier now to increase the lead, to double it, and he's back in the groove. It was a much easier offering, but there's nothing easy now at this stage of a final. But Mercier will appreciate the fact it wasn't out wide where he failed last time. And that was certainly good enough. Gloucester in front by 6 points.
Still time for Bristol, but they need to come back quickly, because Gloucester did seem to gain some control in that last exchange.
Neither side has a history of trophy winning to draw on. 19 years since Bristol last won something. 20 years for Gloucester. It's new territory.
Craig Gillis comes on and wings that line out immediately. Super work.
He's still on loan. He'll get himself a permanent deal with a hero's performance at the end of this final. There's no doubt that Gloucester are quite happy just to settle with the touchlines at this stage of the match. It's Bristol who have to chase the game.
All eyes on Mercier, but it was Gilles with that steal who gave the Gloucester number 10 the chance. Very tall man, Craig Gilles. Bristol go Brown at the front. They've lost Sheridan, they've lost Sternum, so they don't have the variety in the line out. Gloucester can put pressure on now.
Contepomi. O'Leary. Henry Paul. It's a poor kick. Again, best goes for the boot. And again, Bristol concede possession. Gummerson. Fanaloa. Trying his luck up the short side. No change there. Mercier. Contepomi all the time in the world. But Gloucester won't complain.
No, Contepomi loses out in that exchange. He'd have been better off bringing that ball back by hand. Had support coming back, but you feel now Tiredness is creeping in, and errors will happen in the last 12 minutes. Terry Fanaloa persistently down in the last 5 minutes against Sale. So Bristol have a man over at the moment.
Lost after Woodman tried to chip the ball on. Sheridan and Pichot. Contepomi inside to Christophers. But that was seen. But it's back for a Bristol scrum. We could have a very exciting conclusion here, but it has looked a tired final. Both teams at the end of their long, hard season gave everything to get here. Maybe it has been one match too far. Not quite the invention that we've seen from Gloucester and Bristol over the last few weeks.
You'd also say that Bristol have worked very hard on their defence. They've been a lot tighter. And Gloucester, as we saw against Sale, the most inventive team in the Premiership, closed them out to just one try last week. It ain't easy against Gloucester, and Bristol have improved in that area. It's theatre of the moment now, isn't it?
Don't get me wrong, both sides have given absolutely everything. They couldn't complain on that score. The effort has been there for all to see. Christophers tackled by Todd. A perfect example, and it has won his side a penalty holding on. Again, the offence. And these penalties starting to mount up now for Bristol. Mercier immediately steps forward. He's pointing at the post. He knows what he wants to do.
Put this one down to Robert Todd. That is an absolutely superb tackle on Christophers. They read the Bristol move very well there. Two decoys, but Todd's eye is on the outside channel, and that's a good, strong tackle. But Bristol just not getting the men there in numbers. Christophers holds on. And there you can see the penalties conceded in the own half. 6-3, telling against Bristol now. And this is a major kick.
Six points, the difference as we stand now. Let's change that to 9. And that represents a big difference. Bristol need more than just a try and conversion. It's asking a lot. Can they do it? Gloucester leading by 22 points to 13.
Well, Bristol have time, but they have work to do. Shane Drum has come on now, and he is going to take the restart.
A player who damaged his knee against Gloucester in April. This his first game back. This time last year, Bristol were into pre-season. So it's come full cycle for Shane Drum.
That's a good kick from Drum there, you know. A little bit unlucky, but Gloucester, they'll take the knock-on in the scrum. And guess what Mercier will do here? You got it.
Everyone's a winner from the boot of Ludovic Mercier. And Phil Vickery there trying to lift his tackle forwards, asking for one last effort in their season. There is the skipper still talking away.
You just feel there's another try in this game if either side can get width on it, because teams look so tired. It's will it be an error by the attacking team?
Drum. O'Leary. Henry Paul. Hit that too well.
Gave that an almighty thump, didn't he? A little bit unlucky. And again, Bristol get out of jail there, because I don't think tactically Drum's kick was a good idea. They're 8 minutes, they've got some time, but they need something now, and they've got to try and stretch Gloucester.
Alex Brown had another wonderful day, personally, but it will only mean something to him if his side can win this match. Beattie taps it down, and Johnson, the replacement prop, goes through. Oh, what a run from Johnson! He's going for the corner to score! Well, it's a try worthy of silverware. They've still got plenty to do, but they're in there fighting. And Nigel Melville knows it. Melville's side do not have their hands on the trophy just yet. Paul Johnston.
Hats off to Dean Ryan. Fresh legs, smart substitutions. It's Ross Beattie, fresh on, who wins the line out. A lovely tack ball, and Johnston, well, we know how explosive he is. Tombaum, get out of my way. Gomersall comes flying back, but he doesn't get near stopping the dynamic prop. That's a brilliant try for the forwards. And there's life in the old final yet.
What an important kick this is. The gap standing at 4 points. Strike that.
Oh,
what a kick from Contepomi. Everything is back on the table.
Well, that was an immense kick from Felipe Contepomi. You felt Bristol needed a score very soon. They've got it now with 6 minutes left and 2 points in it. It is in the melting pot. Mercier to try and drive Bristol down. Bristol looking for any foothold and scramble score.
Gloucester have brought on Coley Sawabi and also Chris Forty. Replacement forwards. It was a Bristol replacement forward in Johnston who scored that try, but now Bristol have given away a stupid penalty for the late challenge. Standing in front of the man, little asked why, but I think it was Gareth Archer. Let's just check. Maybe not.
I don't think Jason Little thinks why. I think Jason Little is saying he didn't block him. Paramore ran into him. That's the end of it, of course. If Paramore tried a little chip and chase, penalty already given. That was the muddle that ended up with no advantage. Question is, did Paramore run into the man? That's what Little's saying. Or was it a mindless block?
We'll take a closer look in a second. Time to concentrate on Mercier's kick. It will wipe out the effect of the Contepomi conversion and deflate Bristol. Can they bounce back again? Has to be a big question mark. Gareth Archer then. Was it a penalty? It's given to Paramore, who then kicks.
It's difficult, but I would say Paramore doesn't give him much time, but Archer's head is turned towards him. It's a tight call.
Archer should have been looking to get out of the way. It was too dangerous to even hint at that kind of challenge.
Just did he have the time? But you know, those penalties, it was Archer now who's given the last two away, and Bristol would be in front.
Now this is real time. Sometimes the slow motion can make it look like a deliberate check. Did he have the time? Did he have the time?
I think Archer knew what he was doing.
Well, the referee has evened it up to some extent because he's given Bristol a penalty straight away. Little and Contepomi decide to go through the post, knowing that another penalty or a drop goal could then win them the match.
Contepomi demanded urgency, wanted to see that tee down there, but now he's got to get the balance right. He wants to kick this as soon as possible, but he mustn't be too rushed because he needs the 3 points. Could have gone for the line out, the catch and drive. But Little's got all the experience in the world, and they're saying we can win this with 2 penalties.
Have to get this one first, which they do. Perfectly through the middle from Contepomi. So the did he or didn't he debate on Gareth Archer comes to a swift end as Bristol are given this chance to immediately make amends. Again, 2 points the difference between the West Country rivals.
Fanaloa off, Catlin on. Fanaloa is exhausted. And Henry Paul up into the centre.
And Lee Best dropping and hurriedly getting the ball away. Very well indeed. Easy to criticise when a player drops the ball, but wasn't that a fine recovery?
Yeah, he did very well, didn't he? And a desperately unlucky bounce for Tom Bine. That ball came so fast and low, and that's a lucky break for Bristol, isn't it? Looked like pressure for Gloucester in the Bristol 22. Bristol have a line out now.
Penalty again, pulling down the line out. Every time the whistle goes, it shapes the finish of this match. And now it's Gloucester's turn to get inside Bristol territory.
And again, Mercier playing for meters, playing for time.
Fascinating finish to the match, to the season. 40 throws. Mad scramble for the ball. First in the air, then on the floor. And the referee says knock on.
It's a long way. We've been going since August. We're in early June, and Bristol are 70 metres away from what seemed very unlikely 3 weeks ago. But Gloucester stand firm and stay firm favourites.
They will feel 10 or 11 months away from the Gloucester line. But Pichot tries to rectify that. Rees. He took the risk, he was kicking the ball away potentially, and that's what he's done. Bristol somehow needed to retain that. Gummersall. Killing the ball, and this will kill time. And no hurry from the injured Gloucester players to get back on their feet. Well, Paramore is now, but Gummersall will use every available second. Let's hope it's not too bad, because just around the corner for this man, an England tour. I didn't think it was too bad.
Because still 10 seconds, they'll take them.
Referee takes another look at his watch there. Willing their side on. Good take from Gillies. Made an impact since he came onto the field. That's what he was there for. To secure ball at this stage of the match, with Gloucester nearly home. Mercier's waiting, considering the drop goal. Ludovic Mercier, but not this time. But again, underline that word time, because that's what is being used very effectively by Gloucester with these tactics. Squeezing Bristol, who need a moment of brilliance. Pichot tried the tap, didn't work. Beim clears away. Jake Ball, that was sensible. There was nobody behind him, he had to go himself. Great awareness, even when he was upside down. Gummersall, Mercier again with a drop goal. But the referee's given a penalty. It's not a drop goal, it's not the points. But it might be the match.
Even better from Gloucester's point of view, because Mercier will take all his time.
Well, the penny's starting to drop now. We haven't got the 3 points, but we are probably going to get 3 now. And we're also using more seconds. It's been a perfect finish for Gloucester to the match. They've been camped inside the Bristol half. You can see what the silverware means. Gloucester about to get their hands on a trophy again. Ludovic Mercier. It's over. But Gloucester must again turn and face.
One last chance for Bristol.
This is the last throw for Bristol. "60 seconds left," says Roy Maybank. That doesn't go 10 metres. Bristol played it. The option, a scrum back on halfway. So, Stuart, your man of the match.
Well, Mercier's boot has been vital, but I think the try scorer at the heart of everything. Gloucester's number 7, Jake Ball, outstanding, and he's my Zurich Championship final man of the match. South African born, but he's a man of Gloucester now. Uncompromising all season, all afternoon.
Gloucester controlling, but Gummersall is scrugged by Pichot. What a brave effort from Pichot right at the end. Nearly caused a turnover, but Mercier has put the ball out. And this is a long minute.
You just don't do that. You don't trust a referee's minute, ever. You play it long. Last chance for Bristol. There's Jake Ball, man of the match.
Well, I didn't see a reason to stop the clock for injury. So surely now, this is the last play. And here's David Rees. Pichot. Has to be a try. Alex Brown. Pichot again. Drum. Little half break. And then it was Sheridan. They need something heroic. Contepomi. But crossing, says the referee. Contepomi with the last chance gone. That was close. But that is now over. And it's been a long, long wait for Gloucester. And having finished third in the Premiership, and having given so much to this end-of-season championship, they will feel that their just reward has been gained. Gloucester are one of the nation's winners again.
Great scenes in the Gloucester camp. Phil Vickery bouncing around like a lad who's making a first-team debut. Dejection there. Archer's penalties were crucial. Gloucester kept their nerve. Lee Best, nervous afternoon. Bristol, they couldn't quite get going. And Jake Ball, he just went through with his effort as he does every week.
And the players look on one side of the fence overjoyed, on the other side totally distraught, but on both sides they look exhausted.